Hello, YouTube. Meow. Yep. Hello, YouTube, and welcome to the SideQuest. My name is Grant LaHaye.
I'm Nate Jones.
Cricket. 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 That's where Justin Scottham would be. He's not here. Silly.
Jerk.
A-hole. So, today on the SideQuest, we are talking a little bit about natural or unnatural phenomena over in Siberia.
So you guys might have heard about a quote-unquote sinkhole that's not actually a sinkhole because it has characteristics that show that it was blown out in Siberia. It was actually really big on the internet 3 weeks ago when it was discovered.
Yeah. There's a huge, a huge, massive hole that was found in the middle of nowhere in Siberia.
Yeah, the diameter is actually 262 feet or 80 meters.
That's ridiculous.
Wide. I wish I had the depth on this particular article. I don't have the depth on this one, but I know it was really, really, really deep, and there was water at the bottom. However, one of the things that I don't think is being covered as much is since then, in this 2-week period, 2 more holes have been discovered in Siberia.
They're roughly 50 meters across.
Yeah, so
which is a massive amount. 15 meters. They're 50 feet across.
Yes,
Sorry.
One is 50 feet, 15 meters, and the other one is 13 feet, 4 meters. So, still quite huge. 13 feet is basically 2 of me.
Yeah.
Which the picture makes it look so much bigger, and that seems like a normal sinkhole. Like in Texas, we get sinkholes that big fairly often. In other places,
parts of houses, small animals.
But 50 feet.
50 feet, that's like a good solid 2 houses on a block.
Yeah, and again, John, if you want, I have pictures. Right now I'm on Gizmodo, Sploid. So this is the 50 feet crater, and this is the 13-foot crater. And the biggest thing about what's confusing people is that it's not a sinkhole. There's no
gradual
impression.
Right.
But there is soil around it, like it's exploding or something's happening.
They found debris around all of it, and what's crazy is I've also read a lot on these stories as well, is that there's actually witnesses who've they actually viewed the happening. One person said that they witnessed a flash of light, and then what appeared to be an explosion coming from the now side of the crater.
While others are saying that they've seen things go from the sky,
to the
ground,
a celestial body, as they described it,
which basically means from the sky to the ground, then an explosion.
Right.
Which can happen in a crater. It can go in, but has an outward explosion.
Right. But here's the thing. With craters, it's normally a dome.
It usually has a bottom that's
and
not water.
You can typically see it, and things you can. It's a deep impact. No pun intended. Okay, pun kind of intended. But you have an impact. You have a crater. You have kind of that roundness to it, but you don't have a cylindrical just tunnel to the bottom of nowhere.
Yeah, side note, I talked about opening up a beer with the microphone on the show. I just wanted to show it on the SideQuest, since this is kind of a new thing.
How to ruin a mic in 30 seconds?
Me opening beers with weird things. There you go. It's opened.
Bloop, 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 bloop.
So one of the craters, actually, to witnesses, it doesn't say it on the article, but to witnesses, one of the craters even actually has a cone shape. Like it's wider at the top, smaller at the bottom, but it still goes to the water at the bottom from what I can tell.
That's ridiculous.
Which that's still not an impact. That's like a drill.
Yeah.
Which leads us into a lot of the...
Does it say, okay, so first off though, does it say any relation to the other, how close are they in proximity to each other?
Oh,
because that's the first question that I'm going to ask when it comes down to conspiracy theories and things of okay, is this extraterrestrial? Is this something that is being man-made? Is this a missile test that we don't know about? What is this?
So the one in Taz that's 50 feet across is a few hundred miles, so roughly 300 miles away, but it's still in the same Yamal Peninsula, so it's still Siberia area. The second one... Oh, this one actually has the depth. The second one, which was 13 feet, by the way, has an estimated depth between 197 to 328 feet.
That's a big difference, though. 197 to 300 something feet is a huge guesstimation of they don't really know how far deep it goes.
And this one, and this one doesn't tell me how far away it is from the other hole, from the first hole. But I would imagine it's also at least a few hundred miles away. So relatively close. Now, it is the same country, same territory. Regardless. So, but in the same regard, it would be like finding.
They're hundreds of miles apart, but they're not. It would be not in close proximity to each other.
It would be like finding a hole here and then finding a hole in Austin.
Okay,
Austin, Texas.
Right. So same state, just different geographical locations. There's a lot of speculation that can be had, and I'm just going to speculate. There could literally be just a natural causing, geological formation here that builds pressure.
The idea is possibly that it's methane gases expelling from the Earth as the permafrost melts from global warming or whatever you want to call it. The Earth heating up,
right,
is stirring up the gases, and they are exploding as the permafrost melts.
Right.
That's the real scientific theory. It's kind of weak,
right,
to be honest. But what do you think, Grant?
Well, okay, so the very first thing that comes to my mind, and I know that Nate can definitely jump in on this a little bit more, is fucking Hollow Earth. So we know of Hollow Earth theory from saying that there are interdimensional beings or things living inside of the Earth.
Oh, now you're starting to drive me crazy. That's a whole nother episode. We could talk about that for so long.
I know.
Hollow Earth theory, in case you don't know, if you've ever seen or read, Journey to the Center of the Earth.
If you get into the weird part of YouTube, you can also find this out.
Oh, my God. Yeah, go to epicpodquest.com. There's a weird part of YouTube that covers some crazy Hollow Earth theory stuff. And then there's also a podcast out there called THC, or the Higher Side Chats, which I'm talking with the host of to get on our show to talk about weird conspiracy things.
Oh, hell yeah.
But check out the Higher Side Chats. There's this one crazy, it's like 2.5 hours long, about Hollow Earth stuff. I've been super into Hollow Earth stuff for many years, and he talked about stuff that I didn't even know about. So it's crazy. But if you've ever read Journey to the Center of the Earth, they go to the center of the Earth, and there's a whole population of things happening under the Earth's crust. That's essentially the Hollow Earth theory, that the core of the planet acts as a sun to the inner cores of our planet itself, so that there's species and there's enough warmth and availability of oxygen
to create a habitable zone within the Earth, versus just we're in the habitable zone in our solar system.
We're taught that there's an outer crust, an inner crust, a mantle, so on and so forth. But what they're saying is within that mantle basically are caverns that are large enough to live in and to create
life,
entire worlds of their own.
Plants, vegetation.
That's where the reptilians,
animals.
If you've heard about the reptilians, come from. That's where dolphin people possibly might come from. That's where all these other weird creatures, some aliens they think, giants, basically any weird creature you've ever heard of. Burp into the microphone.
Did I do that?
It was me.
Okay.
Could possibly be Hollow Earthian.
And this also kind of goes, they
so
use
much.
that as far as, with UFOs appearing and disappearing in an instant, where they're not actually going into space, but they're actually going into our oceans, into a cavern or into Antarctica, where there's a giant fucking crater down there as well.
Yeah, there's another identification known as a USO, or unidentified submerged object, which is typically associated with UFOs when people are in the ocean, Navy, whatever, and they go underwater. The thought is that they're going underwater into underworld caverns. So those are called USOs. So if you're interested in that, search USO versus UFO. I believe is what it is. I could be wrong. I'm kind of drunk.
You're correct. USO would be the term. And I've definitely researched some of that. And there's also, if you watch any paranormal UFO show, they'll at least have one or two episodes about USOs. And a lot of secret military installations also that experiment with USOs as well.
So basically, this could be a Hollow Earth thing. My buddy Brandon, which I've talked about on the show, and he's been on the show once, is like losing his shit right now that this is Hollow Earth related. And I think one of the biggest things is that they keep finding these huge bodies of water under these holes.
Right.
And it's
Which
said
could
that,
be naturally forming.
Yeah,
but it's super suspicious.
But it's said that there's, oceans that are a part of the Hollow Earth. Like, they have their own oceans and everything else. And it kind of makes you like, if it's, 200-something feet deep, you could have a thinner layer of, say, 30 feet that is above us that's completely inhabitable and hollow underneath. I don't know. It's weird. There's so many weird theories out there. There's a theory that Earth was like this big and grew into the size that it is now. That basically, like, think about 3 times smaller than our moon is how the Earth started. And how the continents formed was not Pangea and tectonic plates, but they were one huge landmass like Pangea. But Pangea was, same size continent or same size planet, one giant continent. Think of one continent that fit around the globe. The planet grew, and Pangea's separation still happened as the world actually got bigger. Not one huge continent, massive ocean, spread into massive oceans, solid body of land. As it grew, oceans formed. There's so many crazy things out there. So many.
It's true.
I could talk about that for so long.
It's true. And this could also just be World War III about to start as Russia is planning all kinds of stuff because they're obviously up in that Siberian region.
Well, it's crazy because...
or it could be Ukraine fucking with Russia. There could be all kinds of stuff going down.
It is crazy because outside of the U.S., Russia is like, I think, the second largest natural gas producer in the entire world.
Yeah.
Outside of the U.S. And so you would think that these could be related to sinkholes, because that's why they're so big in the U.S. and Texas, especially Texas.
With the shale.
So much natural gas, that's a side effect of natural gas is sinkholes.
Right. Especially as they're mining for that. They're dislodging
it's happened more and more
all
often.
the shale. And so like with the shale companies specifically, while they're going in and they're drilling into the shale, which is just a softer kind of layered rock that they can go into where gas deposits are formed.
Unfortunately, I've worked with too many gas companies. I can go into that, but we're not going to.
We're not going to go into that
stuff.
But
go back to Grant.
Yeah. But the drilling into that into the pockets of gas causes destabilization of that area, and so it causes sinkholes, but minor earthquakes, and other things.
Yeah, and there's a big thing with natural gas where those sinkholes happen naturally. For instance, in Covington, one of the largest areas where there's sinkholes are natural gas deposits. I grew up a big chunk of my life there, and it was really famous that you could like find sinkholes and like throw shit in there and like drop string in there, and we would just do it for fun. We'd find like a 3-inch hole and just see how deep it went because it was just some tiny sinkhole. It's a big natural gas thing, and Russia has this too. But the big thing is it's not a sinkhole.
Yeah,
it's a hole and it has debris around it, like it exploded.
It's a diameter. It's got stable sides, and it goes all the way fucking down, except for like that one conical.
It looks like a drill,
right?
But even a cone makes sense. Like it looks like somebody drilled through the earth. Is what it looks like. Mm-hmm. It's perfectly shaped.
With their alien laser fucking beams.
I mean, look at this picture, John. Like, zoom into that picture. Look at the wall of that shit. Like, it is straight. It's like it was carved out.
Yeah. And if it was an explosion, you wouldn't get perfectly symmetrical, perfectly shaped walls like that. You're not going to get something like that. It's fucking weird.
And I'm just going to note. They say it's cone-shaped. But they don't say which way the cone goes.
Ooh.
They don't say that it goes... You're assuming...
It goes big to little.
That it's going big to little. But what if it's cone-shaped? Little to big.
That's the same thing. You mean big to little, like from bottom up versus top down.
Yes, that's what I meant.
Because big to little and then saying
like they were
little to big.
Like they were drilling from under the earth versus from on top of the earth.
What if they're trying to get out? What if we have an opportunity to say hi up in Siberia? What if
they're trying to get out? That's bad news. They're reptilians and they're trying to take over. And President Obama and
dude, World War
George
III,
W.
man.
Bush are trying to
It's about to fucking happen.
go to full reptilian form.
There's a lot of hostility happening over in that side of the world, and
That's
there's a lot of people already siding up. I don't even know, but I have a feeling that if there's alien stuff going on, that they're a part of it.
This is a really long side quest.
How long are we right
15 minutes. Hopefully
Jeez.
it was enjoyable and we made enough jokes. But I'd also pointed a little bit of seriousness of some of the conspiracy theories.
Yeah, like shit fucking happens and aliens can be real. Look at fucking Hollow Earth, y'all. Hollow fucking Earth. Hollow Earth.
Thanks for sticking with us this long. Episode 100 of Epic Podcast is on the way soon enough. I think we're only 2 or 3 episodes away.
Yep.
Hopefully we come up with something special. We'll figure that out. Maybe a live episode. Maybe. We'll see what happens. Thanks for watching the side quest. Go to epicpodquest.com if you're not already there and check out everything that we write about. All of the podcasts that post through Epic Podcast. And also go to... Oh, wait. You're already at youtube.com/epicpodquest.
It's true. And when you're done with there and you want to get social with us, go to @EpicPodQuest on Twitter or Facebook.com/EpicPodQuest to hang out with us on the onlines.
And I'm going to throw something else out there. Hey, dear listener, watcher,
Ish.
do you use Untapped?
Ooh.
You can find Epic Podcast on Untapped.
Yeah. It's me. And you can find me on there too. I have more beers than you.
Okay, that's enough. Thank you for watching. Walk it off.
In your eyes. I walk it off. I can feel it in your something.
Hey,